Once you have that information, you can go and proceed in obtaining the password. The password for getting the password, there's two different methods you can take. There's cross-referencing a word list, basically like brute forcing. That does take some time, and you're limited on what's in that word list. I'll go ahead and link some word lists in the sidebar, so if you don't have any already, you can just download the ones I specify and use that for reference. I'll show you how to do that. And I'm also going to show you how to do the other method, which is basically creating a hash specific to the SSID, which is Leets network in this case. So if you ever try cracking networks that use the default network name like Linksys or D-Link or something like that, this would be a great method to choose because it does take some time to create the hash table, but once you do have the hash table, it's very quick to actually crack that password. So I'm going to show you the hash method first. I was trying to create a hash table prior to making this video, but my system actually BSOD'd on me, so I don't have it completed. But I'll just show you what needs to be done. So basically, if we want to create a hash table, what we need to do first is we need to switch directories. So I'm going to change directories /pentest wireless, and it's going to be cowpatty. That's the tool we're going to be using here. Okay, so now we're in that directory, and we can go and proceed here by or period /gen pmk and space -s, and then we can notate down the name of the network, which is Leets network. Okay, cool. Space -f, and then we want to notate down the directory that the word list is in. Now, for my virtual machine, I already have one of my local host drives mapped to it. So I just go to my storage drive, docs, word list, and I'm going to using this final word list right here. So I can just copy down this directory, switch to my root, or my shell console rather, and paste in that directory, and the word list name is final-word list, I believe. Let me make sure of that. Yeah, wordlist.txt. So I see here I specified the directory that my word list is located in, and then after that I can just space and then add in the name of the hash table I want to create. So in this case, I will name it my WPA hash. And at this point, I'm going to hit enter. It's going to say it doesn't exist, so it's going to create one for us. Now, this does take a while. For my word list, I have about 1 million words on this particular file, and that's not the biggest I have. I have one that's like 4 or 6 million, something like that. But I'm just using this one for example, and to create a hash for a 1 million word word list, which is about 10 megabytes big, it'll take about 2 to 3 hours to complete. So I'm just going to stop this now. I just want to show you that for example. And once you do have that hash table completed, you can basically try any network with the same SSID to use it. But to actually initiate the hash table, you type in while in this directory period /cowpatty space -s, and then the SSID of our network, which is going to be Leets network. I knew it would do that. Space -d, and now we can specify the name of that hash file we created, which is, where is it at? My WPA hash. Okay, and then space -r, and we're going to notate down that file we created to when we obtained that handshake, which I believe is my _WPA, and with the extension. Okay. So we see here it went through this and it didn't find anything. I didn't actually create the whole hash, so this normally would probably take a little bit longer, but not nearly as long as it would take to actually cross-reference a word list. So this is very, very useful if you do wish to create a hash for networks with the same SSID. Now, with that method aside, I'm going to show you the most commonly used method. For this next method here, I went ahead and created a new shell console. In this method, we're going to use the aircrack, which most people generally use. So I'm just going to type in aircrack -ng, and then space -e, which we're going to use to mention the ESS ID of our network, which would be Leets network here. I'm going to go ahead and encapsulate that with quotation marks as well, since it's 2 words. So we got that there, and then space -w. And we're going to use that for the word list, so I can just switch over to my Conqueror to obtain the path to that word list I made. Okay, great. And I can just add the direct file we're accessing. Okay, and then once we have that information down, we can go ahead and also notate down the cap file, which has that handshake that took place, and that's going to be this one right here. So just copy this and notate down the directory it's in, and just hit enter. As you can see, it's going to go through all the keys that were notated down in that word list we have, and it's going to take some time while it goes through all these. It's going through about 200 keys per second, and so it's going to run through all these, and let's run its course and see if it finds a match. And actually, right here, key found. There's the key for my network, which will change after this video, of course. But anyways, yeah, that was relatively quickly. However, this was an example, so I made sure the right key was in the network. But that's, I mean, that itself isn't a fairly common key, and there's over a million keys in this word list, so it can go by fairly quickly. It just depends on the system you're using, the key that was created. A lot of different variables need to be taken into consideration. But if you are going to do ones with the same SSID, like Linksys and so forth, it'd probably be best to take the time to create a hash table, make things go by a lot quicker. If there's also, you can add extra functions. You can use John the Ripper to add some different equations, intermix characters, and so forth at a higher success rate. But you'll also be risking the amount of time it takes to crack the password. So overall, though, if their password isn't in a word list you have, if it can't be manipulated to be in the word list you have, then it's pretty much you're not going to have any luck getting that password. So that's how you crack a WPA encrypted password. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. You have a great day.
Mushroom Headbangers, subscriber, well, die.